Alright guys, welcome back to We Listen to This, the podcast by two girls who love to listen to themselves talk about themselves. I'm Kirsten.
And I'm Sophia.
Welcome back. You may notice our background's a little bit different
We're not in my basement.
No, we're in my dorm room, which is super fun.
Mm-hmm. Except not, because we've been trying to record this for the past hour.
Yes. We got new audio equipment, and we're still kind of figuring it out. But
we're not using it
no,
right now.
We had to switch back because we couldn't figure it out yet. But
we'll get there.
We will. It's going to be so great.
It'll sound so goodly.
Goodly?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to be as professional as ChatGPT wants us to be.
Yes. Okay, so this episode is going to be, nice and nostalgic, reminisce-y.
Yes, we're going to be talking about our middle school days, which was so great.
No. Okay, but, I don't think middle school should be good. There's...
No, I think if middle school is, the time of your life, that's a
red flag.
Yeah, I really don't think I know anyone who looks back on their middle school days and is like, yeah, that was the time of my life.
I mean, I do look back on it fondly. Every day didn't suck.
Yeah, there were some good moments.
It was rough.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of just a hard time, I think.
Uh-huh.
But that's okay. And I think it's funny.
It is.
You just have to make light of it.
Mm-hmm.
But,
is our camera still crooked?
I don't know.
Well, anyways, we're just gonna kind of go through what middle school is like for us, and hopefully it's entertaining. I think it will be.
I feel like it'll be a little bit relatable.
We had two fairly distinct middle school experiences, so I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, and also when we were in middle school, that was, when COVID hit, was, halfway through.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I kind of liked it, though. I liked quarantining because I got to stay home.
You're so weird.
I know. And I liked wearing a mask, too, because it covered, half of my face. And I didn't like it.
Okay.
Anyways, on that note, yeah. I would say most of my middle school, I didn't have a lot of friends. 6th grade, I actually had 0, and then I made 1, halfway through the year, and then she had to move to Oklahoma.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was, friendless again. And then 7th grade, I did have some friends, actually. I made, a good group of friends, especially in English. I was in advanced English with a good group, and, we all had fun.
Yeah, we should explain how classes worked in middle school, because that's going to be important. So they had, standard classes, and then they had, classes that were faster paced, which you were in. And then they had classes that were, a year advanced.
Yeah, which is what you were in.
Yeah. And then there were compacted classes where you were taking, a year and a half of classes. So, I was in a compacted science program where in 7th and 8th grade we were supposed to be learning, cumulatively 7th, 8th, and 9th grade science. So then in 9th grade we'd be in 10th grade. Because by the time we were in middle school, apparently our school had figured out just letting kids skip a grade isn't good.
What?
Yeah, apparently that leads to learning gaps, or knowledge gaps, or some crap.
That can't be true.
No, I mean, do I know how to use a protractor? No, but don't worry about it.
I don't either, and I didn't skip a grade or anything like that, so
but
I don't know.
I just wanted to clarify that, because that'll become kind of important, because they're all kind of similar, but different.
That is weird. That we did it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you had some classes that were faster paced, but you weren't. Were you in compacted math?
I was in compacted math. They didn't put me in compacted science, which I'm still kind of mad about, I'm not gonna lie. I know it wasn't that great, but just the principle of it, I don't know. I feel like I could have done it. And then I did advanced English, which is what you did also.
Yeah,
and then you were in tag.
The English one was just faster paced.
Yeah.
They don't know what tag is. It was our gifted program.
Talented and gifted.
Yeah.
Tag. I wasn't in tag. They didn't let me get in.
I was gifted.
No, I wasn't.
No, this isn't just me bragging about being gifted, because that'd be a really dumb thing to make an episode about.
How smart Sophia is.
That just happens to be relevant because, so pretty much since 4th grade I was a year ahead in math, and first off, just the stuff they let gifted kids get away with, like, elementary school really through high school is kind of insane.
Yeah.
There's this assumption of maturity when you're taking classes with kids that are older than you. It's like, oh, like, you know, like, you're ahead in school, so you must be, like, ahead in maturity, too. That is completely false. But teachers, like, throughout schooling always played into this, and we're like, you guys are mature, really, right? And we're like, no, we're not. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So pretty much in 4th and 5th grade, they would just, like, send us to another classroom.
I remember, I was the, like, people would come to my classroom. Yeah. I didn't get sent because I wasn't in...
Yeah, I got sent, and everyone... Because we just got sent to a classroom the year above us, and they all hated us.
That's great. Fair. Well, not fair. It's not fair. But I remember... It kind of
was. The other kids that were also advanced were really annoying, so it was a little bit fair.
Yeah, I remember just not liking it, because I was like, wow, like, not fair that these kids get to come to my class.
Yeah.
You're not as smart as you think you are.
Yeah, but most of the kids in our district that were a year ahead in math ended up skipping 4th grade for whatever reason. That's why none of us knew how to use protractors.
I don't remember learning how to use a protractor.
Well, you learned it in 4th grade.
Okay. Well, that's probably why I don't remember.
We also, for the longest time, struggled a lot with coordinate grids, because that's also 4th grade.
Oh. Those are so easy, though. That's where you just, like...
No, like, in middle school... There were kids still struggling with it.
Yikes. Bro, imagine being compacted and, like, struggling with that, though.
There's a reason they switched to compacted programs instead of advanced.
Yikes.
But anyways, so by 6th grade, which is the beginning of middle school at our school district, there was a specific...
Whoa. Okay,
There was a specific class that was just like the advanced math class, instead of having you go to a classroom with kids in a higher grade. Yeah. It was like just kids in our grade being taught the math of the grade above.
Well, I guess for me it was faster.
Yeah, you were in compacted. Because I was compacted. We were just learning 7th grade math and 6th grade.
Yeah.
And just because there was only one...
There's, like, one class for each, like, advanced subject.
So that kind of...
like...
Stop talking. I'm trying to talk.
Okay.
Because there was just one class that taught 7th grade math and 6th grade and 8th grade math and 7th grade and so on, that, like, really skewed the rest of our schedules, and also because most of these kids were in a faster-paced English class, too, and a compacted science class. So pretty much, we just had all of our classes together because it skewed our schedules so much.
Yeah.
So, pretty much for 3 years, I had almost every class with the same, like, 30 kids.
I did not.
Yeah, you had a normal middle school experience.
Unfortunately.
Which, there are pros and cons to both of those things, and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But, I met you in 8th grade?
Yes, it was 8th grade, because... I thought it was weird because so I was, like, normal in 6th grade, but then 7th grade, I was in compacted math, and then I also did advanced English. 7th grade, I didn't have advanced English with, like, any of you guys.
Yeah, because there were more classes of advanced English.
Yeah, and so I made a bunch of friends in advanced English, and I kind of thought, like, oh, next year in 8th grade, when I have advanced English, I'll, like, be with all those friends.
Yeah, instead, so for English, usually, because, like I said, there were more tracks of advanced English, our class, which was called the advanced math class, because that's usually what I referred to them to in middle school,
the advanced math
we usually got split into, like, 2 group classes for that, and you ended up in one of those.
Yeah, and it was awful. Part of, I think, what made it worse was, like I said, that was, like, so 7th grade was, the very end of it was when COVID kind of, like, really hit and we had to quarantine.
Yeah, we didn't come back after spring break. It was that year.
And so then our 8th grade year, we were doing, like, a weird split schedule.
Hybrid.
Where, like, hybrid, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of, like, half the kids would go to school some days and the other half would go other days. And then we'd switch with online, whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, a lot of my friends were going to school, like, the opposite days that I was. And then I got in a bunch of classes and I had no friends in all of them.
Yeah.
And I was in their, English, or, I don't know, advanced math class in,
Yeah, the English class that me and all my classmates were in.
Yeah, and so I got there and they were all, like...
We were incredibly cliquey at this point, because we'd had every class together for the past 3 years.
They all knew each other. They were all, like, really good, like, friends, or not friends. I don't know. But it was, like, I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have no friends. And none of these people, like, also have no friends.
Yeah.
I was just, like, by myself. That was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I hated that class a lot. I kind of dreaded it, actually.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
No, I will say, there were certain classes that I did not have with my advanced math class, because, like, it was, like, a microcosm. Like, we had, like...
Yeah.
We were all my friends were in that class, because we'd known each other for a long time. And, yeah, like, when we had classes with other people, like, we just wouldn't talk to them.
This is true. I can confirm.
I remember a girl transferred into our advanced math class, like, 3/4 of the way through 8th grade, and I was the only person that would talk to her.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys... Because everyone just already had friends in the class.
Yeah.
But we did have, because history, there wasn't any advanced courses in history. You just took history. So we would have history classes with what, at the time, I remember this, I would refer to everyone else as the normal kids. Which,
I can see you doing that.
I mean, to be fair, you could read into what I thought that meant we were.
Yeah.
Abnormal. But there was very much a us versus them thing going on.
For sure.
And we would have history with the normal kids, and I hated it.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't really like it either.
It's like, oh gosh, these people are so annoying, which we were also annoying.
Yeah, you guys were, like, honestly worse in some ways. I'm not gonna lie. Because you guys were, since you all knew each other, you guys, like, weren't, like, you had no, like, social anxiety. You didn't really care. So, like, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Also, like, gifted kid humor is very specific. And consists of, like, annoyingly dry sarcasm and, like, really long-running jokes.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever seen A Series of Unfortunate Events, I think they killed it. Me, my sister, and my friend, who were all in the gifted program, all love that show. I doubt they were trying to portray that, because it's, like, a very niche audience.
Yeah.
But it fits really well. But anyways, then I'd be in these classes, I'm like, I don't know how to talk to these people. What, am I supposed to talk to people I don't know? Gross!
Yeah, I know. That's a skill that you have to build.
It's not one I ever built. Like, literally, to this day, I struggle with this, because I feel like middle school is, like, a time you're supposed to be learning how to do that.
Yeah, and you guys just didn't.
Yeah, we just didn't.
Yeah, I definitely did. Like I said, I didn't really have any friends. What happened to me was, so I think, the first thing that happened, I didn't move to Iowa until I was 9 years old, so I only had 2 years in an elementary school where I was, like, I had finally built up, like, a decent, like, group, so to speak, with my elementary school.
Yeah.
But our school district, it's huge. There's a lot of elementary schools.
Yeah, I think 6 or 7. Moving on.
So when it comes time to go to 6th grade, they basically shuffle all these elementary schools together, and they split us into 3 groups.
Yeah.
We called them tree groups. They were, like, named
really
after trees.
dumb.
Now it's something different. Whatever.
Yeah.
But there were these 3 groups, and I got put in a group with, like,
no
no
what
friends.
tree group were you?
I was mulberry.
I was willow.
Okay. Anyways, none of my friends were in mulberry.
The tree groups are pretty much just to, like, like, there were still people in my tree group that I didn't have class with because our school is so big. It was pretty much just, like, split the school into thirds, so it was like, okay, all your classes are in this third of the building.
Yeah, I think it was to help kids not get lost.
Yeah.
Basically. But, yeah, so I had, like, no friends through 6th grade. Then I got to 7th grade, and then they actually, like, fully mix everyone together, kind of. That was fine, honestly. I liked 7th grade a decent amount. And then, 8th grade, I was pretty much isolated again, which, yeah. So that really sucked. I also didn't have any friends in my lunch period. Usually going through, like, class to class, you can kind of get away with not having any friends because it's, like, just do your work and you're fine.
Yeah.
But lunch, like,
lunch is hard.
You're supposed to talk to people, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I'd sit alone every single day. And finally, they also had split up our lunch because of, like, social distancing once again. So, like, you would...
Oh, yeah, they had, like, a second room people sat in,
you kind of had almost, like, an assigned, like, main cafeteria, and then there was another spot. And I did have, like, 2 friends in the other one, but I couldn't sit with them because I wasn't assigned to that lunch.
Yeah.
And finally,
the way they did lunch was really dumb.
The principal of the school came over to me one time and was like, do you have friends? And I was like, I mean, I have a couple, like, up there. And he's like, you can go sit with them.
Wow.
Like, so, it was bad, guys. Like, actually, I never ate lunch in the bathroom, though. So, I can say that to this day. I've never sat in the bathroom
I haven't
lunch.
either.
I feel like that's a myth. The bathroom's gross, so I didn't want to do that.
I've seen people that... Or, like, I saw people that did that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. That. Like, surely there's a better alternative than that. That's really gross.
Yeah, so that... Honestly, that's largely my middle school experience. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just kind of being sad and alone a lot.
Wow, this is such an uplifting episode.
But I will say, I do look back on it, and I'm like, I think it's okay that happened, because now I'm not, like, scared to be in a place where I don't know people.
I am.
If that makes sense. Like, I don't really care that much about that. Which is good, in some ways. Yeah.
So mine. So starting in 6th grade. Okay, so I was in Willow, which all the advanced math kids were in, but our schedules weren't, like, completely identical in 6th grade. Yeah. It was more 7th and 8th grade. And my friends from elementary school all became popular this year, and I did not.
Oh.
I know. Like,
that's
what?
Rough.
How not? So, like, at the beginning of the year, I'd sit at their lunch table, and then just slowly... There was never a spot for me at their lunch table.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's, like, almost worse.
It was very rough.
I feel like that's worse than just not having any friends.
So pretty much, I found this table with other girls who didn't have friends. And we became friends. It worked out well. Like, some of those people I was friends with, like, through high school.
Yeah.
So I'm not, like, complaining. It worked out fine, but it was rough there for a while. And so then 7th and 8th grade, I would say, like, at least 5 of the 8 classes in the day we would have with the same people.
Mm.
And some, like, I had, like history and English would usually be, like, half of the advanced math classes in that class.
Yeah.
So I had some classes with, like, some people in, like, all my classes.
Mm-hmm.
And that advanced math class consisted of 32 students. It was really big, but, like, not big enough for them to bother getting another teacher to teach advanced courses.
Mm-hmm.
And there were only 7 girls in it.
Ooh.
So that was kind of awful at times, but also, like, 2 of the girls were my best friends, so it was kind of fine.
Yeah, I feel like that helps you guys kind of band together.
Yeah, like, I wasn't not gonna have friends because of this, which was handy. However, because of all my friends leaving me in 6th grade, I was, like, really quiet and, like, had no confidence.
Wow, I can't imagine that out of you.
Yeah, it was weird.
You're so loud now.
I know. So I, like, didn't talk most of 6th grade, except to, like, my close friends.
Yeah, I just didn't really talk that much.
You still don't, though.
Yeah,
Like, it's just your personality.
That is definitely... I was always kind of like that.
But then, like, towards the end of 7th and 8th grade, like, I was coming, back to myself.
It's coming back.
But I felt like I also, like, couldn't, because I'd been acting all, like, quiet, so then if, like, I start being, like, loud and weird, it's, like, notable, because I have the same classes with everyone, and they know me as, like, being shy and quiet. Like, I remember we had a sub one day, and we were being annoying, because I'll get to this, but we are awful for subs.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, let's play a game, who can be quieter, the boys or the girls? Which automatically is completely rigged, because like I said, there were only 7 girls and like 20-something boys.
And the boys that were in those classes were loud.
Yeah, but the guy that sits in front of me goes, but there's only 7 of them, and points to me and my 2 friends, and those 3 never talk!
Oh, yikes.
So by, like, most of 8th grade, I remember just feeling, like, very trapped in my own head in a way. It was really weird.
No, I get that, though.
'Cause, I don't know. It felt very High School Musical. Like, I had this role I was supposed to be playing.
You were supposed to be the quiet nerd girl.
Yeah, and I didn't want to play that anymore. I pretty much just waited till high school, and then I had classes with different people and could, like, be who I wanted to be because they didn't know me.
Yeah. Now? Oh, okay. I remember being in our 8th grade English class and, like, worrying about how quiet I was, and because I was like, I feel like, what if all these people think I have, like, depression or something?
I low-key did.
Yeah, I did act like I was depressed. Sometimes I still wonder if I actually maybe was, just a little.
Yeah.
I just sat there and didn't talk. And then it was like, once again, I also thought it was weird if I did talk. Because I felt like I just wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, so we worked together on a group project in 8th grade, but we didn't really become friends till high school.
Yeah.
And pretty much, I let her join my group out of pity.
Yeah.
Because I will say, I think I know why you didn't have friends. Your route to making friends was, like, sitting there and looking sad and, like, giving people puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well. I didn't know what else to do. I don't know. I hated when we got to choose our groups, though. That made me so, like, I was like, ugh.
And we always did in that class.
Because they thought you guys were mature.
And we'd be like, teacher, like, we all know each other. We know what groups to get in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I was never in those groups, so.
Yeah, so we'd all be, like, partnering up, and she'd just, like, sit there looking sad and like, guys, you should probably, like, invite Kirsten.
I appreciate that, though. That was really nice. I genuinely don't know what I would have done without you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah. I don't know, I just thought everyone hated me for no reason, so I didn't know what to do.
No, I was just like, this girl's, like, kind of bringing the vibe down, but okay.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I guess she can come.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but back to the why can't I talk today? Back to the dynamic of this class. So, like I said, there's a lot of assumptions that, like, teachers have when teaching advanced kids.
Which is that they're well-behaved.
It's that we're, like, all, like, A, want to learn.
Oh, that's also false.
B, are mature. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. But, I will say, I don't know that there's, like, a good way to teach gifted kids, because every route goes with caveats. Like, caveats, good grief, I can't talk. Like, you can just have them in normal classes, but then they get bored.
Yeah.
And you've seen what happens when our class got bored. We were really poorly behaved. Really, really poorly behaved. And then you put them in advanced classes.
And then they think they're better than everyone else.
Yeah, they get really cocky. And they don't have the maturity to be in those classes. Yeah. So, our school took the second route. And, yeah, all our teachers would be like, well, like, we don't usually do this activity with kids your age or something.
Yeah, the teachers made it so much worse, I'm not gonna lie, because were always like, I know you guys can, like, do this because you're, like,
you're
above
mature.
average.
You need to be mature, because in high school, you're gonna be in classes with kids that are, like, 16 and 17 or whatever. So there was always this assumption of maturity, which was not true at all. Mm-mm. Just because you're at a certain level academically does not mean you're at a certain level maturity-wise. I would say, if anything, our class was below average in maturity.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like middle schoolers in general, just none of them are...
No.
None of them are good.
Like, for example, our compacted science teacher really pushed this. So, like, he'd be like, like, I remember he had this set of magnets that were really expensive and really breakable. And he'd let us play with them and use them for experiments. He's like, I don't usually let kids touch these, but, you guys are...
You guys are better.
And he also had this theory that because we were gifted, we learn best through experience. Which I'm not sure there's, like, any science behind that at all. But he let us do experiments a lot. And no one in our class would listen when he gave the instructions for the experiments.
Didn't you get boiling water poured all over your hand?
Yeah, yep. And our teacher didn't even notice, because he was busy cleaning up broken glass from a beaker someone dropped on the ground.
Great.
And that was just, like, a snippet of, like, what an average lab day looks like in that class. It was a mess. And, like I said, no one paid attention when he was giving the instructions.
Yeah, because why would you?
So the whole time we're kind of looking off each other, and no one knows what we're supposed to be doing. We're just kind of guessing based on the materials we were given.
Ugh.
Yeah, it went as you could expect. But back to the magnets, specifically. He gave us them to play with at the end of class one day, and they're really cool. They're, like, really, really powerful. So you can put, like, one on the top of the table and one on the bottom. And the bottom one will stick to the bottom of the table and whatnot. Anywho, I think we broke, like, 4 of them. In, like, 5 minutes.
Yikes.
And guess what he did after that? Bought more for us to use.
Yeah, see, I remember science class, because I was in just the normal one, there were a couple kids where, like, they'd come to class and then randomly they'd stop. And eventually I'd be like, what happened? And someone would be like, oh, they went to juvie. Like, that legit happened one time. I was like, I haven't seen this guy in so long. Like, what happened to him? And my friend was like, he's in juvie. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So, for reference, like, that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, I didn't have that issue, I guess.
I also feel like I don't think kids in advanced classes skipped as much as everyone else did.
No.
Because I think they, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think you guys kind of cared a little bit about your reputation. At least
our parents did.
Yeah, and so
because usually that was the reason we were in the class. Our parents cared a lot about our academics.
Yeah, so, yeah, you guys didn't really skip a lot, but there was a lot of that, like, teachers having to, like, enforce, like, bathroom policies because of that.
Yeah, I remember that in, like, the other classes I'd be in, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so whenever we weren't busy, we were also just incredibly poorly behaved. Which I think is normal for middle schoolers, but we were also just very creative in the ways we would cause problems. So, like, there's this quote I wrote down one time, and it's from What's Left of Me by Kat Zhang, and it's about this, like, pretty much the main characters are sent to this, like, facility, and it says, maybe he assumed we were safer when doing math problems, because they would, like, make them go to school and stuff, even though they were, like, in this detention center. Anyways, I wrote that down because I was like, that just really sounds like my middle school class. Like, we needed to be doing a project or something, or we would be very poorly
You guys
behaved.
made up your own projects if you didn't have one.
Yeah. For example, in 8th grade, a project 2 of the boys in our class came up with was writing one of their names on sticky notes.
I think I remember that.
Like, a ton of packs of sticky notes. And they hid them around the school. A ton of them. Like, to the point, teachers were still finding these in cupboards and stuff at the end of the school year. They finally had to go to the principal for it because they started putting them on security cameras.
Oh. I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like that was that disruptive.
No, it isn't. That's the thing.
Until then.
It wasn't really things that were usually, like, disruptive enough to actually get us in trouble.
It was just stupid.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, why are you doing that? Please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop covering my classroom in sticky notes. Similarly, like 5 boys in my gifted class in 8th grade got bored during class, so they started looking up, like, anything they could think of that they thought was, like, inappropriate or funny. So they'd look up, like, how to make a bomb and stuff on their school computers. They did it enough that they, like, got flagged and had to go to the principal's office and talk about why they shouldn't be doing those things.
Yeah.
And at least, like, we usually did like our teachers to a certain degree. Some of our teachers. There was one that we all hated. But aside from that one...
Which one was that?
I don't think you knew her.
Okay.
But aside from that, like, that was us on good behavior. When we had a sub, we were just awful. Like, truly terrible. And once again, like, I think the subs thought they were doing something wrong, so they're like, oh, this is supposed to be the good class.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah. Because they'd say at the beginning of the class, they're like, well, I shouldn't have trouble with you guys, you know? You're the advanced class, you should be fine. And I think because of that, like, they genuinely thought it was something they were doing. Because we never got a bad note.
Yeah.
Like, all of middle school in any of our classes. And
That's
we were
crazy.
Terrible. Like, every day after we had a sub, we're like, okay, guys, like, we went too far this time.
We went too far.
We're gonna get yelled at this class. Like, there's no way they didn't leave a note. And it was always like, well, they said you were good.
It's like,
Which I say when I use the word we, I just mean our class. I wasn't doing most of this stuff. I was sitting quietly. But, just some examples of things that happened. One day was career day, and we were supposed to be watching a video on, like, farming or something in our class, and we had a sub. So we just all collectively agreed to not watch it and talk, like, just, like, completely ignore it and talk the whole time. So finally our teacher turned the video off, because he's like, okay, this is pointless, you're not watching it.
Yeah.
How about you ask me questions?
I know the story.
About how, you can ask me about, like, how I became a teacher and stuff. So instead of doing that, we asked him a lot of personal questions about his life, like his sex life, and if he'd done drugs, and so on and so forth, and tried to figure out his social security number.
Wow.
So then after he gave up on that, he was like, well, you guys are being really immature and stuff, and, like, your grades start mattering in high school. It's like, our grade for this class already counts for high school, but whatever. So then we started coming up with jobs we could have as high school dropouts.
Yes.
And we decided as a class that we would all become strippers.
Wow, I'm sure that's what every teacher wants to hear from their class. Yeah.
That was just, like, one 45-minute period.
Yeah, see, I think the difference is, in all the normal classes, the kids just didn't know each other, so, like, were they well-behaved? Not really, but they also weren't collectively...
Yeah, we were way too coordinated.
Yeah, they weren't coordinating anything. It was more spread out than that. That's funny, though.
Yeah, the teachers didn't really have a chance. We were way too much of a, like, collective.
Yeah. Ate those teachers alive.
Especially subs. It was really bad.
I remember the one sub that we had in English, though, because our teacher went on maternity leave.
Oh, yeah, we liked her, though.
She was really sweet.
Yeah, we were nice, because we kind of felt bad when we were bad for her.
Yeah, because she never, like, yelled or anything.
She was really nice and kind of grandmothery.
Yeah, and she would let us go outside if the weather was nice to, like, go do our reading outside.
Yeah, we were decent-ish for her, because... Like I said, like, if we knew the teacher, we felt bad if we were too awful for them.
Yeah.
Because also there was this thing, like, there's definitely a double standard of how teachers treat kids that get good grades and bad grades as well.
I would agree.
If you're getting an A in the class, you can get away with so much more. So we would never really be punished for anything anyways. It was just kind of like, the teacher would be like, guys, come on, like, please let me get through this lesson.
Pretty much.
So then you'd feel kind of bad. But, like, we were never got punished. We never got punished for anything, though, really.
Yeah.
Except, like, I did mention 2 times that kids got sent to the principal's office. But even then, it was just like...
Guys, stop doing that, please.
Can you please stop? And then they would, and then that was it.
Yeah.
We're running low on time, so let's do recommendations.
Mm-hmm. You go first, because I need to think of one.
Okay, I have one, and I brought it, and this is definitely just so I can brag about this. So, John Green came to my college a couple weeks ago, and it was, like, the best thing ever, because, if you don't know, I'm an English major, and he's, like, one of my favorite authors, so it was so cool. But my recommendation is Bedazzling, because I bedazzled this copy of The Fault in Our Stars. I'll, like, include a photo of it, because you're not going to be able to see it, but it's sparkly, and it's really cool. And he signed it somewhere. He signed it.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, you bedazzled it? That's cool. And I was like, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is, like, the coolest thing I own now.
Pretty much.
And I own a really cool typewriter. So...
Yes, of course.
Clearly, a lot of things have changed since middle school. I'm really cool now.
Yeah, she's so cool. I'm honestly blessed to be in her presence right now. Yeah. My recommendation, I'm gonna go with pickleball, I think, because pickleball is really fun. I know that sounds really stupid.
She's gotten really cool since middle school, too.
Yes. No, it's just so much fun, I'm not gonna lie. And it's not that complicated to figure out, like, I was able to figure it out. And I don't think it's that hard, because I'm not coordinated and I'm not athletic and I can do it. Like, not well, but, like, decently. So, if you're not athletic, really, and you think it would be, like, and you want, I don't know, something active to do, I think it's, like, it's so fun. It is.
Okay.
But some people get really into it, though, and they're kind of scary, so you don't play with those people. But yeah. I've been playing lots of pickleball lately. Every time I have free time, me and my friends will go play. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't feel bad for me. I do have friends now. And we're okay.
And I can, like, talk to people outside of the same group of 30 people now.
Yes.
A little bit.
I think we've both come a long way.
We have.
So thank you for watching. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.